I am enough. If this is something that you've struggled with, imagine planting that seed, that mantra, that thought, I am enough, while all these amazing feelings are running through your body, right? While the endorphins are pumping, while your heart is open. Imagine planting that seed so sweetly inside to say, I am enough in that moment. It's powerful. And you want to think of it almost as planting a seed, the same way you would in a pot when you plant the seed, because you plant that seed in the most ripe soil, the most beautiful, delicious soil. And that soil is the soil when you've been moving your body, you're open, the oxygen is flowing, you plant that beautiful seed, that beautiful thought that then begins to blossom and grow inside of you.
Welcome back to the Essentially You podcast, all about reinventing your health with safer, cheaper, more effective natural solutions and powerful lifestyle changes so that you become the CEO of your health. I am your host, Dr. Marisa Snyder. As we embark into the second week of the new year, I want to quickly do a check-in with you. How are you feeling about 2019? What are you looking to experience more of in the new year? Is it more health, more clarity, maybe more energy in your day? Well, one of my favorite ways to start the new year is to take a moment and reflect, and then choose one word that embraces what I want for the new year. How I think about this word is I ask myself, what do I want more of in 2019? Or simply, what do I want more of in life? What is your one word for 2019? My one word is love, and I'm wishing you so much love and joy for this beautiful new year. Now, I would love to hear from you about your one word, so feel free to reach out to me on Instagram at Dr. Marisa, that's at DrMariza, and share with me your one word. I've already had a couple hundred people share with me their word, and it is so exciting to hold space for their word in 2019. Now today I am joined by my dear friend from New York City, which by the way is one of my favorite cities to visit. And when I go to New York, I visit this amazing woman quite a bit. Her name is Erin Stutland, and we are going to be talking about how to bring mantras into motion. But before we get into Erin's passion and her new book, I want to just let you in on a little thing that we're doing now on the Essentially You podcast. Starting this year, technically last week, we are releasing 2 podcast episodes each week on Tuesdays and Fridays. Now this will be the second week, and so far you guys are loving the new content. So thank you so much for letting me know that you are open to 2 episodes a week. Now we have a lot of epic interviews lined up for the new year, and you are not going to want to miss out. I am interviewing some of my favorite doctors and experts, even some who I've already interviewed, but because you guys love those interviews so much, I am bringing them back. I have Dr. Jolene Brighton, Dr. Alan Christensen, Ocean Robbins, Dr. Gabrielle Lyon, and so many more. So keep a lookout for 2 new episodes each week from here on out. And I will be showing up personally with my own episodes a bit more with exclusive topics that I think you are going to love that are specifically tailored to women's hormone health. And I'm going to be sprinkling in some essential oil magic into those. Now, these topics that I'm going to be personally taking on are coming from my upcoming book, The Essential Oils Hormone Solution, which, as many of you know, is publishing on February 12th, 2019. Now, when I was dreaming up the idea of this book, it was way back in 2017. So we are getting closer every single day to this pub date. And although this is my 7th book, I have written 7 books already in my life. I think the first book I ever wrote was in 2011. It was The Antioxidant Counter, because I was obsessed with all things antioxidants. But this book, very specifically, is the most important work that I have done to date. Not to say that I don't love the other 6 books that I've written, but I put more love, more heart, more research into this book than I have any other book that I've ever written. And that's why I want to just take a moment and say thank you so much from the bottom of my heart for supporting my upcoming book. I wrote this with you in my heart. and it has recently spent the last 5 weeks on the #1 new release list, and I know that that is all thanks to you. Now, it's almost been 2 years in the making, as I mentioned before, and what I want to do as a small token of my appreciation, I have created the most incredible bonus goodies as a big thank you for pre-ordering your copy of the upcoming book, The Essential Oils Hormone Solution. That's right, you can begin to balance your hormones instantly with the bonuses that I have created for you today. So here is how you get access to those amazing bonuses. Number one, you gotta go on over to Amazon or Barnes & Noble or wherever you love to buy books and pre-order your copy of the Essential Oils Hormone Solution. Maybe even get a copy for your best friend or your mom or your sister or the woman in your life that you think would really benefit from this incredible book. It's such a great thing. I don't know about you, but I love gifting books pretty much all year long. I am such a big reader. I love giving books. One of my favorite books right now is The Keto Quick Start by Diane Sanfilippo. Also, I am loving Erin Stutland's book, who we are interviewing today, Mantras in Motion. And these are just books that I know would super benefit women in my life. So if there is someone in your life who needs to balance their hormones, wants a foolproof strategy, a blueprint to make that happen, then this is the book. So step one, you got to pre-order the book. Step two is you just go to my book bonus page, which is drmarisa.com hormone book, and I promise to link it up. I'm sharing it on Insta, I'm sharing it on Facebook, I'm sharing it everywhere, but it will be in the show notes, it'll be on the website, super easy to find. Then you're just gonna enter your details and the bonuses will instantly arrive in your inbox. Now, the email gods aren't always so kind, so make sure to check promotions and updates. It may not always land directly in your primary inbox, but I promise you, if you put your email in, my goodies are heading your way. Now, if you've already purchased the book, no worries. You can just go to the link and put your info in and get instant access to those bonuses and what those bonuses are going to include, just so you have a sense of what you're going to get. You're going to get my self-care ritual video series, which, oh my goodness, I had so much fun creating that because I'm sharing my best self-care rituals and tips. Next, you're going to get my Hormone Masterclass series, which took many, many months to curate. You're going to love it. I have my top 5 expert interviews from the Essential Oils Hormone Summit. You'll get instant access to Module 1 of my Essential Oils 101 course, my top 11 supplement hormone guide, 5 ways to banish sugar cravings, balancing your hormones with your purse. I am bringing it. And then you're going to gain so much from this book as well. And this is some of what you're going to gain from this. My book is going to be offering a step-by-step program to reset the body through focused and deliberate changes in daily self-care rituals, aided every step of the way with essential oils and powerful nutrition. Yes, there's even nutrition recipes because, well, to be honest, the only book I've ever written without a nutrition recipe was The Smart Mom's Guide to Essential Oils. It just wasn't a fit to put food recipes in there. Actually, there may be a green smoothie, so maybe I did put a nutrition recipe in there. Otherwise, I've written mostly nutrition books because it's always been my area of focus. So I knew that when I wanted to create this book, I wanted to give you that 14-day program with all the recipes, everything that you need to go in and reset your hormones for good. Now, you're also going to get over 100 targeted essential oil recipes and lifestyle changes so that you can begin to implement those solutions immediately. And those solutions will be for things like stress, energy and fatigue, sleep and insomnia, weight challenges, women's hormones, emotional balance, things like anxiousness, depression, and mood swings, cognitive concerns like memory and focus issues, and then digestion and detoxification. So if you are ready to balance your hormones like right now, especially with my super amazing bonus goodies, over $300 in bonuses, then all you gotta do is get that copy, pre-order it, go to that site, drmarisa.com/hormonebook, and get instant access to those goodies immediately. All right, so now that I've shared how to get the bonuses and where to get the book, I wanna just dive into this beautiful conversation on how to combine mantras and movement to make a big change in your life. But before I do, I want to quickly sing Erin's praises. So Erin Stutland is a mind, body, wellness, and fitness expert. She is the host and lifestyle coach of Z Living's cable series Altered, returning for its second season this fall. In January, Stutland is publishing her first book, Mantras in Motion, Manifesting What You Want Through Mindful Movement. How amazing is that? Let me tell you, it is amazing. Now, this book is going to explore her proprietary approach to creating meaningful change by harnessing the body's mental, physical, and spiritual energy through stories, journaling exercises, meditations, and movement. Now, she is also the creator of several mind-body fitness programs, including her signature Shrink Session workout and Soul Strolls. Oh my goodness, I can't tell you how amazing her Soul Strolls are, and she is going to be giving that away in this interview, which I'm so excited about. So, combining principles from dance, HIIT training, toning, yoga, and meditation, Erin helps you cleanse stuck energy, transform negative thinking into possibility, and tap into strength and confidence like you've never experienced before. Welcome to the Essentially You podcast, Erin Stutland. How are you doing, girl?
I'm good. It's so good to talk to you, my friend.
It is so good to hear from you as well, honey. I am so excited for all the things you've got going on today. But we are going to be talking about not only your zone of genius, but something that so inspires me, and that is manifesting what you want through mindful movement. And this is you. This is everything. Mantras in motion, just really getting to that zone of creating your life, a life that you love through motion. Oh, I just love this idea so much. Now, I know that you've got a book coming out, Mantras in Motion, which I am so excited about. Now, I would love for you to take us back a little bit. One, what inspired you to write this book, but also what inspired you to discover that we can really manifest what we want through motion?
Well, obviously a book, right? The coming of a book is a long journey leading into it. As anyone who's ever written a book knows, it's a journey that leads you to actually writing a book. And my journey really started, well, when I was young. I started as a dancer. So I danced my whole life. So movement and motion has always been a very strong part of my life. When I went to college, I studied dance. And my first semester of college was a challenging one. So first and foremost, as anyone who may remember if they went off to college, may remember their first semester of college, it's challenging just as it is because you're in a new environment. It's the first time you're, away from home. Your whole world's kind of changing. And for me, it was the first time that, for me, dance I was now being graded. I was in a conservatory program. It was a high pressure program. It was being graded on my abilities, whereas before, I was really dancing for fun and joy. But on top of that, my mom was diagnosed with ovarian cancer my freshman year of college. And as such a young woman, and I was away, it was really such a shocking time in life. You don't think that you're going to lose a parent at such a young age. And I was really confronted with that. And I think as a result of that diagnosis, it really sent me into a place of a lot of anxiety mixed in with depression. And I was kind of riding these waves of anxiety and depression that the rest of my freshman year. And, my mom was amazing. She was a warrior. She was so focused on her healing that she combined, she did all the things that our Western doctors had suggested. So she went through chemotherapy. She obviously had to have a hysterectomy, but she really combined other things with that. So she went to the Cancer Wellness Center in her neighborhood. She started doing Tai Chi. She was doing meditation. She was changing her diet. And mind you, this is 20 years ago, before the internet really existed. And so all the research that she was doing on her own healing was really coming from the library, from the Cancer Wellness Center, from talking to other people. There was no Googling and going down the internet rabbit hole. And, one of the most significant things that she did, and let me just interrupt the story really quickly to tell you that my mom is alive and well today. So I think that's important to interject that before I go on with the story. But one of the things that she did that was so remarkable and stood out so much to me at that time was her attitude. Here she was, lost all her hair, going through chemotherapy, and she, no matter what, under any circumstances, would, put on her little hat and paint on her eyebrows and go out into the world with this wonderfully positive attitude and a huge smile. Maybe it was a combination of both a little bit of like fake it till you make it, and also her own determination to say like, I'm going to heal, I'm doing well, and her own inner self-talk. And I learned so much from her experience of seeing how she was able to approach healing and wellness really from that internal place where it really comes down to how you look at things, how you talk to yourself, what is your attitude, what are your beliefs. And so here I was, the parallel of that, me going through this time of anxiety and depression, started to realize like, wait a second, maybe I also have the power to change how I think, to change what I feel, to change my beliefs. And at the time, I had come across a book in my parents' basement called The Greatest Salesman in the World by Og Mandino. And while I wasn't looking to go into sales, the book had, every chapter was a new scroll. And you would read the chapter, you would read the scroll 3 times a day. And the scrolls were essentially affirmations or mantras, positive things that you would repeat to yourself several times throughout the day. And, one of the first scrolls was the phrase, I will greet this day with love in my heart. And this is 20 years ago, and I still remember these words, I will greet this day with love in my heart. And what I would do at the time, because I was dancing, I would read it in the morning, and I would go to dance class, and I would stand at the ballet bar, and I would be doing my pliés, and I would be thinking to myself, I will greet this day with love in my heart. I will greet this day with love in my heart. And it really was there that I started to kind of combine this positive self-talk, affirmations, mantras with movement. And that was really the first inspiration of it. Now, of course, flash forward, I started to really begin to understand my own healing power around my mind, around anxiety, around depression. But it didn't really stop there. I still had a lot of work to do to undo certain beliefs that I had, which I continued to do. And when I moved to New York several years later to dance, I started to, I had a real passion for self-development. I was still doing a lot of movement. I was still dancing. And there came a time when I was ready to stop dancing, but I wanted to keep moving. I wanted to keep dance and the joy of the movement in my life. I took these concepts that I was learning and studying so passionately from self-development and started to combine them with movement. And how could the mantra, the positive self-talk, the positive psychology have an impact on your body so that, it's interesting. I'm sure that you know this. When you read a book about self-development or any of these concepts, it's exciting because you're like, oh, something new, a new way to look at something. And then, you kind of go out to the world and you sort of forget about it because your body hasn't quite assimilated those concepts. So that is what I was really interested in discovering. How can we get these concepts of compassion, confidence, courage into our bodies, and so that they were not just intellectual ideas? That was what I started to teach because it was what I most wanted to learn and develop these concepts of movement and mantra together to small groups of people in New York City. And it began to grow and expand until it turned, into online programs and serving people all over the world, as you know. And from there, a book was born out of all those concepts that I was teaching and the method that I began to develop over the years.
There are so many facets of this story that I just love. That one, being a part of that journey with your mom and kind of discovering, through her positive mindset around her healing process, what that helped to create for you during that difficult time. But then recognizing how to integrate this through, that connection between the body and mind. Now, when you were first bringing this to people in New York, because I know that's where you are, girl, what were some of the experiences? What were some of the big takeaways that you were seeing in real life when you were bringing this to groups of people?
One of the biggest things that stands out is people would get really emotional. I was inviting people to do something that was a little weird, that was probably a little uncomfortable, maybe a little out of the comfort zone, because you're coming into a studio, you think you're going to do a workout class, and then I'm like, yeah, we're going to talk. We're going to speak out loud while we're doing this class. You're going to be saying mantras, positive affirmations, essentially. You're going to be saying them out loud. These are things you probably haven't even thought to yourself in a very long time, unless you've done this kind of work on yourself. And now I'm going to ask you to say them out loud in a room. And of course, I set the mood, I set the tone, I turn the lights down, I've got music, and it's really powerful because everybody in the room is doing it. So I'm not just having one person, this is a group of 20 or 30 people. And we would do it, and at the end of the class, there would be emotion, there would be tears, people would kind of be in their own space with that. But I was always so struck by that because what I realized was that we often go months, years, people go years without saying nice things to themselves. And even if they say it, they don't always believe it. And so what happens when you're really moving the body, when you're really going into motion, that brings up naturally a lot of energy, as you know. Like you have more energy that comes to the surface when you're exercising, moving, than you do when you're just, sitting. So you've got all this energy, which already can be a little bit emotional, rising to the surface, and then it's met with these wonderfully positive, kind, loving things. And people, I think, because of the energy, because they're so open physically, when they say this to themselves, it hits them in a way that it doesn't hit them if they're just sitting on their couch saying it, repeating it. Because their hearts are so open, their hearts are pumping, the oxygen is flowing. And it's a real cathartic emotional experience. And I think that was one of the biggest realizations that I had, that I knew, this is impactful, when I knew that people would come up to me and they were like, I didn't want anyone to know, but I was crying at the end of class, like, oh, good, we're hitting something here, That's how change is really happening.
Yeah, helping people work through those emotions in a really positive way. I think that's incredible. I remember when I first saw one of your programs about really helping people to connect into those, to manifesting what they want through motion, I was so excited. I love the idea of this. And I have a group of girls that I take care of, women that are entrepreneurs. And so often the reason why we don't move forward in life is that we have a lot of self-doubt. We struggle believing in ourselves. And I remember thinking to myself, like, this makes so much sense to me. When I saw one of your intro videos, I'm like, yes, wouldn't we want to move our bodies and channel this amazing rock star manifestation energy? We could go get closer to worthiness or feeling, and because we're all worthy, just people struggle with worthiness. And that was the first thing that really resonated with me, was that idea of people breaking through this disbelief or this limiting mindset of not thinking that they are worthy enough, that they could step into something bigger in themselves when they were bringing together motion and these beautiful affirmations and transforming their mindset. So that was what got me so excited about you. And I'm so happy that we get to have this conversation today as well. Just wanted to let you know, girl, that was what I was thinking when I first saw everything we're creating.
Thank you. Yeah, it's powerful because the thing is that we don't often, I'm sure we've all had it. I've had this experience. You probably had this experience that you go and you work out and maybe you're, in a yoga class, but you're thinking, oh, why am I not as skinny as the girl next to me? Or you're doing your squats and you're thinking, what's for dinner? We're not utilizing. There's one piece that I always felt was missing in the manifestation process. There's so many incredible books and teachers that talk about manifesting, and they're equally amazing, right? They're wonderful, and it's such important information. But I always found that what was missing, the missing ingredient from this manifesting process, was using the glorious energy of our bodies, because that's really where so much of our energy resides, in our bodies. And why not use it? Why not be doing our squats? And instead, somebody else said to me, oh yeah, I do my squats. I'm like, oh, this hurts. I'm like, so yeah, you're actually doing it. You're saying mantras. They're just not good ones, when you're doing it. So let's change that around and make them more positive.
It's so true. It's kind of like our rituals, right? We cannot have good rituals in place. We can be saying things to ourselves, but it just need to change the conversation.
That's right.
Okay, so one of the things that a lot of people may not know is that you have been the host of a TV show called Altered. Can you tell me about the show? Because I know people who haven't seen it would love to know more about it. But then, to being a part of that show, because I know you've now done 2 seasons. I know the second season hasn't aired just yet. But how has being a part of that experience, did it play any role in not only how you wrote the book, because I know that you had the opportunity to do the first season before you really started to dive into the book, but then also had it changed anything in the way that you've thought about what you educate on?
The show, it's called Altered, and the concept of the show is that every episode is a newly engaged couple that is looking to make a transformation before their wedding. And when I say transformation, I do mean both inner and outer. So they are looking for weight loss, and they are separated from each other for 90 days before their wedding, which is an interesting social experiment in itself. I was shooting the second season while A, I was pregnant, and B, I was writing the book all at the same time. So I was growing a baby, writing a book, and shooting the second season of the show. And so I do share some stories of some of the participants in the book. One thing that was really interesting to me, I was working with participants who, have anywhere from 100 to 200 pounds to lose. So these are people that we're not talking about like, oh, I just want to lose 15 pounds to look good in my wedding dress. These are people who really need to make big life transformations. And that's not easy. That's a very tall order. And it's kind of interesting. In today's wellness, there's a big conversation going on right now about body acceptance and self-acceptance, which I think is so powerful and so, so important. But as a result of that, there's sort of a conversation that I feel that it's telling people it shouldn't be about weight loss. And the thing that I learned from this experience of working with people who do have a tremendous amount of weight to lose, it's not just about vanity. This is about their health. This is really about their health. And the reason that they are at this weight, it's not really about the weight. It's the habits, the way that they think about themselves, the things that they do in their life. And it sometimes, as a wellness professional, I want to be careful that we don't discount the people that actually do need to lose weight for their own health. And how can we help them do that in a really holistic way? So that it's not about shaming them by any stretch, but it's also not about saying like, oh, don't worry about it. You don't have to lose weight. You're fine as you are. Because actually, no, these people have high cholesterol, diabetes. There's a host of things that potentially happen due to the weight. So that really struck me is that I feel like it's so important to honor people's desires of where they are in terms of their bodies. Everyone is different. Sometimes you're at a place where you want to work on body acceptance. Sometimes you're at a place where you want to work on body transformation. And there's nothing wrong with either one of those. It's about really honing in on your goals and then help, for me, with these participants, helping them make a transformation, again, from the inside out. So that it absolutely never was for me in any way about just diet and food. It is about the whole thing. How can we change how they think, how they feel, so that really their whole world begins to change?
I really appreciate it. I'm so glad you gave us some clarity on that. And I 100% agree with you. If people are in a position where they are not well, they're not healthy, they're feeling the diabetes, or they're feeling that their cardiovascular risk is up. They have the right to make those choices so that they can lead a life, unless maybe they're a parent, maybe there are people in their life that they want to take care of. I've had several best friends in my time who needed and wanted to lose weight because they were concerned about their health challenges. And to be able to go out and support them in that journey is probably one of the biggest things I could do, so that they could feel better. They could feel great, have the energy that they wanted. It wasn't so much about the looks. It was just about wanting to feel good again.
Absolutely. And I think that's what really comes up on the show is that, these people were single for some time. They've now found their partner, their person in life, and they want to live a long life with them. They want to have a family and they want to have a long life, but finally they found the person. It was really an honor to get to work with people and get to witness their transformation. And I think the best part of those transformations, again, was not about the weight loss that occurred, but about the person that they became through the process.
Absolutely. And that is so wonderful. So you were able to bring that into the book in a really awesome and positive way. When does the show air again, my dear?
I don't have an air date yet. We're not totally sure. Maybe sometime in January. They said soon. It's coming soon.
Okay, sounds good. Okay, well, we'll just keep an eye out on that. Okay, I just knew it was coming, so I wanted to ask just in case you wanted to check it out, because it is exciting to see those transformations happen and see how happy they are. Girl, I don't know about the 90 days apart, but that's interesting. But getting to see each other for the first time after 90 days and seeing each other's transformation, I'm sure is so powerful.
Totally. It is a powerful moment. That's for sure.
Okay. So I wanted to talk a little bit about, and I know we've talked a little bit about the emotional well-being that happens or what comes up when we're combining mantras and movement, but how else can the combination of mantras and movement make a big change in someone's life? What are some of the big wins besides kind of working through those beliefs have you seen for people?
It's up to what you want, right? So the book itself is, as I said, it's manifesting what you want through mindful movement. So whatever it is that you want, whether it is, you are looking for a soulful relationship, whether you are looking to create transformation in your body. I have so many clients who are business owners, probably similar to you, who want to have more confidence to create the business they love, who want to find a new job, people who want to go back to school to start something new. So that's sort of your external layers of things that you want and desire. And then there's the internal layers of things that you want and desire. You want to cultivate and manifest more confidence. You want to cultivate and manifest more courage, more self-acceptance, kindness, compassion for yourself. So it really comes down to what you want. And the thing, I start the book at the beginning focusing on your desire. And from talking about it and talking with people, one of the biggest stumbling blocks that we have around your desire is, first and foremost, creating the space to sit down and actually think about what it is that you want. We're so busy today. There's so much going on. There's so much distraction. And I think a lot of times we think we want something because we saw it on the outside world and we think that's what we should want. We don't spend enough time really sitting down to think, what do I want next in my life? Whether it is one of those external things that I mentioned or an internal feeling. And so we really start the book by helping people. I have a bunch of exercises in there that help you start to get clear on what it is that you want. The other stumbling block I think around desire is, okay, so now that you've identified what you want, I think that people really struggle to trust it, right? This voice comes in, it knocks on their door, it says, hey, you've been longing to leave your job for a really long time. And then we're like, yeah, no, but I can't listen to that because I don't know what that's going to look like if I leave my job, and I don't know what's going to happen, and I can't really trust the desire. So then we need to work with starting to really trust and listen to the desire. And so that's really, so I take people through the process again of identifying what it is that they want. But now here's where the mantras in motion comes in. So it's really a trifold approach in this book. So there's the intellectual side. So first, using the example of desire, first you have to think about, identify, and articulate what it is that you actually want. And then you have to start to feel into that. Why is that important to you? The heart part of it, right? So you've got the intellectual part. Now we got to feel into it. How does it make you feel to you to have, what would it feel like to have that desire? Why is that important to you? What's your why behind it? The heart-centered part of it. And then we want to get the desire into your body, right? So now we have I want to go back to school. Let's just say that's what it is. I want to do that because I think it'll challenge me in a new way. I'm passionate about learning something new, and I'm passionate about this particular subject and where it could lead me. So we've got the feeling. Now we want to get that into our body. So then we do the mantras and the movement that begins to focus and say, like, I have the vision. I trust my vision. And we put that into motion so that your body then really gets on board with this new desire. Again, using the example of going back to school, so that you almost can't escape it. That's my goal, that you almost can't escape this desire, that it becomes who you are so that you will move towards it. And so every chapter in the book, whether it's desire or belief or gaining courage, it takes the reader through understanding these concepts intellectually, then getting them into your heart, and then getting them into your body so that you can move forward.
I love that. It kind of reminds me of when you're thinking about those desires and then you're doing them and then you're becoming them. I particularly love, it's so interconnected and they just can't shake it off, right? They can't let that go. That is amazing.
You're not going to be able to hide from it, from yourself, and that's what I think is I think that's one of the greatest gifts is when your inner voice becomes so loud that you can't ignore it. I mean, then I feel like the world is your oyster because then you have to move forward from that place.
I absolutely agree. And I think about, we talked about motion having that energy, but also all of those amazing endorphins, right? Those neurotransmitters, so much is firing there for you to really create space for that and changing our neuroplasticity. I mean, even the concept of bringing in mantras, bringing in manifesting is going to change the way that we look at the world, change the way that we think about ourselves in the world. And then when you add in all of those amazing endorphins, right? Your serotonin, you've got epinephrine pumping through you. I mean, you really are creating this really powerful biochemical experience, and you're changing your chemistry.
That's right. And so imagine doing that with topics and issues that you've been struggling with, that have felt stuck to you. If you've struggled for a long time with feeling I am enough, right? This is a big one. So many people struggle with this one, myself included. I'm enough right here today. I am enough. If this is something that you've struggled with, imagine planting that seed, that mantra, that thought, I am enough, while all these amazing feelings are running through your body, right? While the endorphins are pumping, while your heart is open. Imagine planting that seed so sweetly inside to say, I am enough in that moment. It's powerful. And you want to think of it almost as planting a seed, the same way you would in a pot when you plant the seed, because you plant that seed in the most ripe soil, the most beautiful, delicious soil. And that soil is the soil of when you've been moving your body, you're open, the oxygen is flowing, you plant that beautiful seed, that beautiful thought that then begins to blossom and grow inside of you.
Oh yeah, I'm loving all of it. Now, honey, your book is out. Not only can people get it anywhere, is there anything else you want us to know about the book before we go and run and get it?
If you're somebody who is felt stuck, if you're somebody who feels as though you've taken, 2 steps forward and then you take 3 steps back when it comes to manifesting what you want in your life, again, whether that's a relationship, a new job, a new home, or you just feel emotionally stuck, this is going to help move you. I strongly believe that movement in your body creates movement in your life. And it's not enough for us to just, I believe, it can be, but I find it's not enough just to sit on the couch and think about the thing that you want to become, but you have to actually become it, right? And this is going to help you become it. So the book will really help you do that. And there's so many goodies in the book too. There's videos and there's meditations. Once you have the book, you get to download a bunch of delicious goodies that are going to help you on your journey.
I love it. And speaking of delicious goodies, you have a wonderful little gift for us. The Soul Stroll. I love the name of this. Another big part of this too is some people are wondering, well, gosh, I don't really work out a lot. I don't really move a lot. Clearly that needs to change. Motion is everything. But they could really be just walking, right? That could be the movement that they're doing.
Yeah.
Right. And so is that what this is right here? This Soul Stroll?
Yes. So the Soul Stroll. So yes, walking is really the defining moment of being human. What makes us human is walking, upright walking. And it can be as simple as that. There's so much power in literally going out for a walk. It changes your perspective. It reduces stress, all the amazing things that walking is. So it doesn't have to be complicated. The Soul Stroll is a 20-minute playlist, great, really fun, heart-pumping music. I'm coaching over it. I'm giving you mantras that I'm basically whispering in your ear that you can take with you on a walk. You can take it. People take it to run with. They go to the gym. They go on the elliptical. You can do it with a regular workout. You can listen to it while you're in your car. I don't even care if you don't walk. Use it. But it's unique because in that it's got really high energy music. And then you've got the mantras. So you've got a lot of really good energy in there. And again, people use it for a variety of things. They play it for their kids. Kids love it because they get to dance around and say positive things. So you can go ahead and download that and use it however you like. Get creative.
I get to have so many wonderful people on here and lots of wonderful free goodies. But girl, this is one of the most delicious goodies I have ever seen. I can't wait. I am going to go download the Soul Stroll right after this. I love, I'm a big hiker. I'm a big heavy hardcore workout person too, but I'm such a great hiker. And some of my best ideas come from hiking, but I've always wanted to be able to incorporate the two. And I think I knew in the back of my mind something like this existed that you had, but now that it's here in front of me, I am so excited to get my Soul Stroll on. And I can't wait till you're whispering sweet nothing manifestations into my ear. Anywhere else that we can find you, Erin, tell us, where are you hanging out?
You can find me on my website, obviously, erinstutland.com. If you want to learn more about the book, you can go to erinstutland.com/book. We've got some goodies there. And then I like to hang out on Instagram at erin.stutland. I like to do a lot of Instagram stories, and that seems to be my most fun mode of social media at the moment. But those are all the places that you can find me. And I'm always writing new content, posting new content, helping people create shifts in both their bodies and their lives.
Thank you so much. And yes, everyone, go get that book. It is everywhere. It's going to be in the show notes as well. And make sure that you download your Soul Stroll. I want to hear, how is that Soul Stroll working for you? How are you getting that movement going and working all those wonderful manifestations that Erin is sharing with you? Erin, honey, thank you so much for not only sharing your wisdom, but your passion for helping to create this gorgeous book and really helping us to transform our lives.
Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
As you can tell, I am pretty excited about the Soul Stroll that Erin is offering as a free gift. Her free download is the perfect way to create movement in your body and movement in your life just by listening while you walk, move, or do any kind of cardio movement. So get that free download in my show notes. Again, it's her soul stroll, so you will just be strolling through life, creating those powerful, manifesting dreams. And let's be honest, you're gonna move yourself into epic happiness. Now, do yourself a favor and also grab Erin's new book, Mantras in Motion. The book drops officially today, and it's available everywhere. Now, we will have a link in the show notes and on my website on how to grab your copy today. But you can easily simply go to Amazon, look for Mantras in Motion, and there it will be for you to grab. Well, thank you so much for stopping by and listening in to the Essentially You podcast. On the next episode, this coming Friday, I am bringing my dear friend Teresa Di Pasquale, and she is going to be breaking down why women of all ages should be weight training. She is the ultimate guru to women's fitness, and I am so excited to bring her on and share her wisdom with you in the next episode. Until then, have an amazing beginning of 2019, and be sure to reach out to me on Instagram and share that one word that encompasses what you want to create, what you want more of in 2019. See you soon. Bye.